Hey folks, it's Greg. Okay, this is like the fifth time I've tried to record this message, so I apologize for the terrible filmmaking or video making, but that's the deal. I wanted to talk to you guys. Thought that was a great class last week. Thank you so much. So here's the plan for the rest of the class, given everything I learned about the status of everyone's writing and their scripts. So let me begin. I've got some notes. I'm going to tab over, but please bear with me. This will take less than probably eight or 9 minutes. Okay. Firstly, buy Bring the Funny. Okay, I will refer to it a lot. It also explains diagramming, which we're going to do throughout this course, and it totally applies to this course. If you don't already have it, I know some people have it from Sitcom 1 or Sitcom 2 that they've already taken with me. So buy my book, Bring the Funny, buy it used, buy it on electronic copy. Just please do it legally, okay? Copyright rules actually matter to me. But more importantly, know this, I don't make $1. This is how much money I literally make off of it, okay? But it will help keep us on the same, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but the same Bible. We'll at least know what we're referring to when I use the terms I'm going to use. Some of you who've taken my class before know what I mean when I talk about stakes, conflict, what happens next, fish out of water, late point of attack. It just explains all those terms so I don't have to take 2 classes up doing them. So please buy the book as soon as you can. Read it if you haven't, because it's going to keep coming up. Okay, again, no laptops, no cell phones, no food in class. Thank you. It makes a big difference. It helps move things along because it's only an hour and 50 minutes. I don't know why it's not a 3-hour class. We need that. We have 10 people. Okay, so this class is for rewriting and polishing, as I think Frankie mentioned. For me to help you with that, I need to read your work. There's just no right way to do it other than that. Okay. However, there's 10 of you, and from what I made notes on when you were talking, that'd be 700-800 pages at least. I'm not going to read that this week. It would take me at least 2 or 3 weeks to capably and consciously and to do a good job reading that many pages. Okay. The truth is, the person who teaches Screenwriting 2 should teach Screenwriting 3 so that they remember your stuff. The only person who's in this group whose material I know well from a screenwriting point of view is Victor. That's only 1 out of 10. So anyways, to rectify all that and to give you the best teaching that I can give you, I broke it down this way. Considering that some people have full scripts and others need more time to finish their first drafts from Screenwriting 2. Okay, and I'm going to say how I broke it down in a second after I rinse myself out. Okay, here's what's going to happen. Week two is this Wednesday, right? Week 2 is easy. Print out, I'm going to send you the PDF for Silver Linings Playbook. I'll send it to you. Or I'll put it in the file section of Canvas for this class. Okay, and bring it to class. We will read the script out loud. Print it out, print it double-sided, print it on recycled paper, whatever works, but bring it. Bring it with you. Show up with the script so we can sit there and do what they do when they're making movies and they turn pages. We're going to read it out loud. It'll be fun. We're going to diagram it. I'll do the diagramming, but you'll tell me what to write and we'll discuss it. So we'll use the stuff from Bring the Funny, which is how to diagram scripts. We'll diagram Silver Linings Playbook over about an hour and a half of class time. And by the end of that class, nobody will be confused as to how to diagram a feature script. Okay, and that will be week 2, an easy week. Okay, then we will start reading your existing drafts. First up will be Nick and Eli Stewart. Why? Because they both have more than 110 pages, so they got farther than almost everybody else. Congratulations to Nick and Eli. They will send us the PDFs of their scripts, and you will diagram them for class using the same technique which I taught you in week 2 for class on week 3. So in week 3, we're basically dealing with Nick and Eli Stewart. We'll cut the class more or less in half. And everybody will have a diagram for each of those because they read Nick and Eli's latest draft that they sent them, and they diagrammed it, and they're ready to talk about how they think Nick and Eli should rewrite and or polish it. And that will be the discussion for week 3. Then we just keep doing 2 more scripts per week. Sorry, I'm not an on-camera actor. Week 4 is Frankie and Eli, because I think Frankie had more than 100 pages. Eli, this Eli is Eli Lederberg, and I think Eli Lederberg said he's looking to polish. Even if he doesn't have the perfect number of pages, he's not going to have to produce them for another couple of weeks. So between week 3 and week 4, we read Frankie and Eli Lederberg, and in week 4 we talk about Frankie and Eli's scripts, tell them how we think they should rewrite it. In week 5, Yossi and Zoe, because they both had like 70 or 80 pages. So now they'll have at least 3 more weeks to add. I'd like them to get to the end and then bring it in week 5. Week 6 is Andy and James. This gives them some extra time. I think Andy had 77 pages. Get to 100, get to whatever the end is, Andy. Same thing for James Botvin. Get to the end of that script that was 50 or 60 pages. Okay, so this gives you time to do it. Then you're going to bring them in. You're going to send them to us after week 5. We're going to talk about them on week 6. Week 7, Victor and Addie. Okay, and I know in Victor's case, he didn't have a lot of pages that he was ready to have us read. This gives him plenty of time. We'll read his stuff between 6 and 7 and Addie's stuff. Okay? Now, keep in mind, the people who are missing pages now are, for the most part, people who are going later. So they have more time to produce pages beforehand. Okay, I wrote that here, but I already said it. Sorry, this is an unrehearsed program. So if your script isn't being read this coming week, well, nobody's is this coming week, whenever you might be in the schedule, you are doing 2 things. So this is what you're doing if you're not the person up in the oncoming week. You're reading 2 other scripts and diagramming them so you can talk about them. And you're also adding to your script if you need extra pages to get to the end. That's it. So by the halfway point after week 7, we will have read and critiqued everyone's scripts, all 10 scripts in this class, and all 10 people will have some kind of plan for moving forward to rewriting. Obviously, if you're Nick and Eli Stewart, you can start rewriting much sooner because we're going to get to you much sooner. And then we'll be looking at your work again, probably if it all works out on week 8. If you're if you're Frankie and Eli Lederberg, we'll come back to you on week 9. So everyone's going to have at least a month when they're not up in between that they can be working on or changing their script. Okay? That's the basic plan. Also, in the second half of the class, I want to read some pages out loud because to me that's part of having a class where you're with other people, and that should give us an opportunity to do that if we go 2 scripts at a time. By the time we get back to these scripts in weeks 9, 10, and 11, we'll talk more about this as we go. Week 10 would probably be a return to Yossi and Zoe scripts. So at that point, I might say, Yossi, let's hear 25 pages so we can hear your opening. And that would give us a period of time to do that. And Zoe, I know that you've been working on the end of your script. Let's read the ending out loud, have 3 or 4 people read it out loud, and we'll all listen to it. So that will give us time to critique each other's work. That will give us time to have everybody read our work and diagram it, to use diagramming and critiquing skills, to rewrite during the body of the class as opposed to right at the end, which is what's awkward about a lot of screenwriting classes, and to hear some stuff read out loud. That's my plan. Again, I'm sorry I'm not a great actor or performer here. This is a one-time only message. This message will self-destruct along with the Impossible Mission tape. Thank you. Remember, email me at dipalg@newschool.edu if you want to talk about this. I am now going to put Silver Linings Playbook in the file section of the Screenwriting 3 Canvas site. So all you got to do is print it out. If you want to read it before class, that's great. Many of you can watch the movie if you want. It doesn't matter. We're not going to watch it in class. We're going to read it out loud in class. We're going to pick some actors, read it out loud, and while you're reading it, I'll be stopping you because I'm not going to be the actor. And I'll be stopping you and I'll be saying, okay, here's how I would diagram this. Okay, class, how are we going to diagram that? We're going to take our time and go through it. Okay? So that's the plan. Thank you so much for taking this class, and I will see you on Wednesday.